Today I'd like to show you a flashlight headband from a company called Lightband that I've been using for the last few weeks on different projects around the house. Anytime I had to work in an area that was a little bit darker, or maybe I just needed a little extra light. It's a really clever design that has a strip of high performance LEDs embedded in the headband that put the light exactly where you need it, right in front of you. So if you're working on a project over here, you've got plenty of light to see what you're doing. And as you move your head, the light actually follows you. So it's a hands-free solution that eliminates the need for somebody holding a flashlight on your work area or you propping a flashlight up to try and focus on that area. So it's a really clever product in a lot of different ways, and I'll explain all the reasons that I settled on this product in a minute. But I'd like to start by showing you what's included with the kit, because anytime I'm considering a product, I want to know what's included. So when you open the box, you'll find the headband. Now the model I have here is called the Pro 1500, and I'll explain why in a minute. You'll also find the battery bank, and you can charge that through a USB-C port on the end. You'll find some clips you can use to attach this to a hard hat. If you're in the trades and you use a hard hat, it's nice to have the light on top of the hard hat if you're working in a darker area, and these clips will actually hold it in place on that hard hat. You'll also find a charging cable included. This is a USB-C to USB-A. The USB-C plugs into the battery bank, and you can plug the USB-A connector into any standard USB wall charger to charge that battery bank. You'll also find an instruction guide, which is really simple. It shows you how to charge the unit, how to use the unit, how to take care of it. So always read through that so you get the best value out of the product. All right, so the unit I have in front of me, again, is the Pro 1500, and there's actually two sets of lights on the front of this. There's a strip on the top right here that can produce up to 1,000 lumens of light. And the best part about that top strip is it's got a really wide field of view. It's got a 210-degree field of view, which means once you turn that on, you have plenty of light to both sides of you and in front of you. So it's perfect if you're working in a confined area and need to illuminate that space. Or let's say you're out camping and you're walking through the woods. It puts plenty of light to either side of you and in front of you so you can avoid tripping on those roots that are out there trying to trip you. And then you'll notice there's another light in the bottom, which is a more focused light, and that's 500 lumens of additional light, and that's focused in a 15-degree beam, which means it's a very narrow beam, but it's incredibly bright. And that's great if you're working on small electronics, or you need to focus that light on a very specific area on a project you're working with. And you can use both of those lights together. The battery bank itself has 3,400 milliampere hours of internal capacity, which is a lot of power, and this will actually run the light on low setting for 26 hours. So you get a lot of use out of the light, and you can charge this again from any standard USB wall charger. The unit has 6 different light settings. So you've got bright, medium, you can turn on both the light on the strip and the bottom light, or just the bottom light. You can turn it on red, which is really nice if you're out in the woods and you don't want to lose your night vision. And there's a flashing mode as well. Now, I've used the flashing mode when I was out camping with the kids and I'm in one part of the woods and they're in another part of the woods and we're calling out to each other. I put it in flash mode, and that flashing light was enough for them to notice where I was and walk over to me. So I like the flexibility of that. So the way it works is basically you'll charge the battery bank, and then the battery bank attaches to the head strap on the back. There's a little space right here where it tucks into. So you basically just slide it in the sleeve like that. Then you've got a USB-C connection right here, which plugs into the USB-C port on the headset. So I'll plug that in, and this provides all the power you'll need to run those lights on the front. And then right over here, there's a button you can use to make your selection on which set of lights you want on, and I'll show you those now. So I'll first turn on the bright light, then I'll turn on the medium light. Here I have both lights on, so it's the strip and the focus light. Here's just the focus light. Now look how focused that is. I mean, that beam gives you a lot of control. That's the red, and then finally there's the flashing. Tap it again and it goes off. Now that gives you a lot of control over exactly how much light you need and where it's focused. For me, I use the light strip a lot because again, it throws 210 degrees of light out in front of me and to either side, and that's perfect for lighting up a pathway, or if I'm working on a project on the wall that isn't so focused, I can turn it on and see everything over there. I do use that 15-degree focus light a lot as well, because if you're working again on a very confined area on a very specific piece of equipment, that light will put that beam of light right on top of your work area. So it's really handy that way. The unit itself also is incredibly comfortable. I don't really have any issue with it when I wear it for a period of time, because inside there is a nice cotton band. So it feels incredibly comfortable on my head. Plus it feels really well balanced because you have the weight of the battery in the back and the bit of a weight on the front for the lights. And I'm telling you, if you wear this for a couple of minutes, you'll almost forget you're wearing it. It's really that comfortable. Also, the material inside, you've got a nice foam cushioning up front here, so it's going to fit really well in your forehead. It's not going to, make you sweat too much. And it is water absorbent, so if you're wearing it for any period of time, especially if it's a hot summer day, it's not like it's going to stick to your head. It's going to absorb that moisture, and you got plenty of room too, so it fits pretty much any head out there. And it's really nice they built this coil in, because if you've got a bigger head, you've got to stretch it further back. That coil will accommodate that extra space. So I've used it, like I said, for a couple of weeks, and I find projects come up all the time where I need a little extra light. And the first thing I reach for is this headband, because Lightband has built a product here that puts the light where I need it, gives me a little extra light below it, so I've got focus light if I need it, and I have a choice between the two. And again, the red light, you wouldn't think you'd use that often, but if you're out camping, you may not want to turn on a bright light to scare away animals or, let everybody know where you're standing. And that red light provides just enough illumination in front of you where you can do things and see things without actually broadcasting your location. So again, I've used it for a couple of weeks. It comes in handy all the time. So that's all I really had for today.